19-10047, the state of Texas versus Kurtis Davis on an original charge of DWI .15. Would counsel please announce?
Yeah, Curtis Tommy for Mr. Davis, Your Honor.
Let the record reflect that Kurtis Davis Jr. is present via video teleconference. Mr. Davis, I have a document in front of me that says you've been advised by your attorney that you have the right to enter your plea in open court, but you're waiving that plea today, waiving that right today in order to enter your plea via video teleconference. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you give permission, if necessary, for your attorney to sign any documents on your behalf in order to complete the plea process?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're here charged with driving while intoxicated, .15. Have you had a chance to review this charge with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you have a right to a jury trial. Do you want a jury trial?
No, ma'am.
If you are not a United States citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, you could be deported or denied citizenship at a later time. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing these possible immigration consequences, do you want to continue with your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you believe your client is competent?
He is, Your Honor. I've been able to talk with him and discuss everything with him.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Davis, how do you plead to the charge of driving while intoxicated, .15, guilty, not guilty, no contest?
I believe guilty, ma'am.
I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to set your punishment at 180 days in the Dallas County Jail. However, that's going to be probated for 15 months. And I'm going to set your fine at $300. There are conditions to this plea, and so I'm going to ask Officer Monroe from probation to go over that with you at this time.
Hey, you've been placed on probation for a DWI .15 for 15 months. While you're on probation, you can't commit any offenses against the laws of this state or any other state. You have to avoid injurious and vicious habits, which means no marijuana or narcotic use. You're only supposed to use medication that's given to you by a licensed physician. Your own medication, make sure that you inform.
Ms. Monroe cannot hear you at all.
Oh.
Your voice got very soft.
Oh, what's wrong with this? I'm gonna try to put it with my headphone. Maybe that might help. Okay, does that help? Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay, while you're on probation, you can't commit any offenses against the laws of this state or any other state. You have to avoid injurious and vicious habits, which means no marijuana or narcotic use. You're only supposed to use medication that's given to you by a licensed physician. If your own medication, make sure you inform your officer of the medication you're taking. Now, you have to avoid persons and places disreputable or harmful character. You're not supposed to associate with anyone who commits crime. Okay, you have to obey all rules and regulations of the supervision department, including reporting. Okay, you'll have 24 hours to let your officer know if you have any changes, such as employment change, address, email address, etc. Okay, you have to permit the officer either come to your home or place of employment if you're required to have home visits. You have to be working at suitable employment. If you ever become unemployed, you need to search for work and your officer will assist you in that. You can go anywhere in the state of Texas, but if you want to leave the state, you do need a travel pass from your officer. Support your dependents if you have any. Your monthly fee is $60 a month. They will charge you a transaction fee each time you make a payment. You have 24 hours of community service to complete. Okay, you do have to contact the misdemeanor department to complete the orientation, and that at that time you'll be assigned an officer. You have 2 business days to do that after today. If you have any court costs and fines, you have to pay those as directed. If you're driving, you have to have a minimum liability insurance. Show your insurance card to your officer. If you have an occupational license or driver's license, show that to your officer as well. During this term, you cannot possess, consume, or purchase any alcohol. Okay. You will be required to have random drug and alcohol testing. Each time you take a test, you will be required to pay the fee for the test. You have to complete a drug and alcohol evaluation within the next 30 days. If they make any recommendations, such as additional treatment, you will be required to take that treatment. You have some programs to complete. You have 180 days to complete DWI education program. You also have to complete a victim impact panel. You will have 14 days to install an interlock on your vehicle if you're driving. If you do not have a vehicle, you will have 14 days to obtain a portable device. You have a Crime Stopper fee of $25 to pay. And you have to return to court to see Judge Moorhead for a progress review on November the 16th at 9:30 a.m. That time, she'll make sure that you're on track with your conditions and she'll ask you questions about probation. You have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
You have my phone number. Give me a call if you do. Thank you.
Mr. Davis, where were you arrested for this?
Addison, Texas.
Did you go to jail in Addison?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you transferred to Loose Derrick at any point?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many days did you spend in jail?
I want to say maybe 2.
2 days, okay.
Maybe 2.
All right. So I'm going to give you credit for both those days and as back time and give you credit for that towards your court costs, fines, and fees. I want to make sure that you understand that it's my interest that you be successful on this probation. Your attorney's done a good job for you, really. And I want to make sure that you know that we want you to be successful, and I want you to be able to contact the court and Ms. Monroe if you're having any issues or concerns out there with probation, with community supervision. If you're confused about what you're required to do, if something happens that is preventing you from being able to complete your requirements, I want you to communicate with us and not wait until some agency reports a violation, okay? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot drink any alcohol while you're on community supervision. I want to be clear on that. And should you violate your community supervision in any way, this court has the ability to bring you back in here and sentence you anywhere within the range of punishment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Counselor, is there anything you'd like to place on the record?
No, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Great job. Great job. Good to see you. Thank you, Ms. Officer Monroe. Ms. Sweeney, that's all for the record.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day. Be safe
Have a
out
blessed day, Judge. Thank you very much.
there.